Hey guys, welcome to another Lost Ark video. Over the past week or so, I have been receiving a ton of comments, messages on Discord or even in-game, about where to continue to get honing materials after you have exhausted the islands. When you are first getting started, it can be an uphill battle, that's for sure. So I thought I would make this video, briefly covering all of your potential things you can do to get as much honing materials as possible and level your gear score faster and get you to tier 3 and beyond. So let's just get into it. So the most important thing to understand when it comes to honing in Lost Ark is that there are multiple sources of honing materials, and those sources are broken down into a few categories. There are once per account sources like islands, for example. These are a great way to boost your main, but will not provide you with all the materials you need, and will not provide you with an ongoing source of materials. So although I do recommend doing them to get yourself going, to answer the question so many ask, no, you cannot do them again on your alts. The second category is the once per character materials. These unfortunately a lot of people skip in the hurry to reach tier 3, which is a shame because the amount of resources you will get here is significant. These include completing all of the quests in the territories that are associated with your current gear score. So for example, when the game says hit gear score 460, then head to Rowendell. This is important. I know you are eager to push on, but going there and doing the quests, and I mean all of the quests, the story, the side quests and so on, will be worth your time, because you will be rewarded with huge amounts of shards, leap stones, destruction, and guardian stones for the tier that the zone is associated with. So be sure to do these and you will find that your progress is a lot smoother. Another important source of once per character rewards are the dungeons in these zones I just mentioned. You will want to complete these on both hard and easy because they will reward you with a crate of materials for the first completion at each difficulty that will contain both destruction and guardian stones on easy and leap stones and shards on hard. So this will be a significant boost when you are working your way through that tier. And finally, our final source of one-time materials, and this is the biggest one, even more than islands have to offer, and that is the tower. The tower is probably my favorite place to farm materials on my characters because not only does it provide a seemingly endless supply of materials, but it also power levels your roster like crazy. Although there is an important aspect to doing this you will need to know beforehand. If you are new and you find yourself stuck in tier 1, you will want to use your power pass immediately upon hitting 50 to make an alt. The reason for this is because the tower is unique and that it provides account bonuses like cards, skill point potions, stuff like that, but only for the first time you run it. Then after you've completed it and attempt to run it on a different character, the rewards will be completely different, offering a massive amount of rewards in the form of honing materials. This will streamline leveling your alts as well as your main if you have completed on a different character. The next category of material sources we will look at are your daily rewards. These are the activities you can do each day that take virtually no time, but if done correctly can provide you with a steady stream of materials, making upgrading your gear feel smooth and not nearly as difficult. The first one we will look at is Chaos Dungeons. This will become your primary source of materials once you have completed all of your one-time activities. How this works, as I am sure you know, is you will receive 100 Aura of Resonance. This is enough for 2 runs that will provide you with loads of materials. These materials produced under this aura are tradable, which is quite helpful. This allows you to make alt using your power pass and run these dungeons twice per character and then shift the materials in your roster storage all to the character you are trying to push with honing at the time, or even sell them on the market for gold. After you have exhausted your Aura of Resonance, you can however continue to run these Chaos Dungeons, but things change a little on these runs. You will no longer receive materials other than spotty drops of bound materials you will rarely see. Instead, you will receive a new resource. This resource is used at the vendors located beside the Chaos Dungeon statues, the Chaos Vendors. Found in every city a Chaos Dungeon is located. This vendor will sell you honing materials for the resources at a reasonably high rate. All of the materials you can buy here outside of tier 3 are bound, so you will need to buy them on the character you wish to use them on. However, the currency that drops in the Chaos Dungeons are roster bound, so this allows you to farm them on your character that is capable of the highest possible level in the desired tier. Then transfer the currency to the character you are honing on to purchase the materials. This comes in very handy when you have reached tier 3 on your main and are trying to get an alt caught up so that the alt can aid in tier 3 runs to feed your main. So in this case, you would farm the chaos currency on your main, who can run the highest level at ease in about 2 minutes per run, producing massive amounts of currency in very little time. Then transfer that currency to your alt you're wanting to progress to purchase the materials with. This is an often overlooked but very overpowered way to progress your alt. Our next daily activity will be the Una's tasks. You are able to do 3 Una's tasks per character per day. This is another important reason to have alts, as I will explain. You are going to be at cross purposes with Una's tasks. Some you will need to complete for silver, some for unlocks like the ghost ship, others for tome completion, and of course those that offer leap stones and shards to aid you in your honing. Here it becomes important to use your alts wherever possible to complete all of the unit's tasks for your unlocks, and focus on doing the ones that offer honing materials on your main to greatly aid in its progression. And next up are Guardian Raids. Each day you will receive 2 souls. These souls work very much the same as the Aura does for the Chaos Dungeons. You should aim to defeat the highest level Guardian you can in the tier you wish to receive materials in, and be rewarded in solid amounts of Leap Stones and Guardian and Destruction Stones. These rewards are not bound, allowing you to once again sell them for profit, or to run it on your alts, then feeding the materials to your character you are trying to push with honing. And our next daily task for getting honing materials will be the Abyssal Dungeons. Upon completing these, you will be rewarded with various materials of that tier, along with other rewards. But also, you have the option on the victory screen of selecting to purchase the bonus chest. This is important to select if you are wanting honing materials, as this rewards a significant amount of honing resources. And the final activities that you can do on a daily basis to receive honing materials are the timed ocean activities you will see pop up in the top corner, like Ghost Ship and stuff like that. These are great to take part in, offering massive amounts of materials for the tier you are currently trying to push through. And next we will look at weekly activities. These are of course things you can do only once a week, but should not be overlooked as they are a massive boost every Thursday to your progress. First up is the Guild Exchange. You will find on your map in each city a Guild Exchange vendor. This vendor will trade materials, cube passes, and shit like that for bloodstones. Bloodstones you can of course earn by donating to your guild, taking part in research, or guild request quests. The supply here will be limited depending on the level access your guild has unlocked. This vendor resets every week, so be sure to remember to visit each week after the reset for your honing materials. Our next weekly honing materials will come from the traveling merchants found in the harbors of major ports. These traveling merchants will exchange honing materials for pirate coins each week with again a weekly limit. If you partake in the sea voyage missions I mentioned in the daily task section for materials, you will also receive a fair amount of pirate coins as well. So purchasing these materials will never seem like a huge expense and will be a very easy way to keep your honing materials stocked up as you push into the next tier. There is also often events which take place in Lost Ark, which will offer huge amounts of honing materials. For example, right now the race event is active. This event has a vendor located in all of the major cities that sells huge amounts of honing materials in exchange for the event currency. This currency you will earn for almost every activity that I've listed previously. Now, this is not a consistent, reliable way to get honing materials. However, when an event is active, be sure to capitalize on it, taking advantage of this huge influx of materials to give your character a big boost. Now, another very good source of honing materials doesn't fall into any of these categories, and is usually considered the pay-to-win option. But Mari's shop offers random packs of materials, and these packs are no joke. They've been changed recently and are massive for the price. The nice thing here is, money is not needed. You can easily play the market selling tome collectibles, doing dailies, and selling various stones and accessories to earn gold. Then in exchange, change your gold into crystals, which will allow you to purchase these packs on occasion. They are by far better value for your gold than buying materials from the market's inflated price at the moment. So guys, I do hope this list helps some of you out there, and answers those questions I keep receiving about what do I do now after I've finished the islands. There are endless ways to farm these honing materials in the game, and if you are patient and do even some of these activities, you will progress fairly quickly, without having to spend 1 cent swipe honing. There truly is no need to waste your hard-earned money on the honing process. Save it for stuff like skins, mounts, and other cool stuff if you want to spend. Honing will take care of itself, simply by playing the game. Okay guys, that's about it. If you know of any other great tip for honing materials I didn't mention, please share it in the comments. That's the best part of these community videos. And as always guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.